Hi there, I'm Lauren Cadillac coming back with another exciting topic. This time, today, we're going to talk about real estate closing costs and who's responsible for what. But as always, nothing I say here is legal advice, and none of this creates an attorney-client relationship between myself, my firm, or you, the viewer. Also, if you have any real estate related questions, call us at Cadillac Law so we can give you advice tailored to your situation. All right, y'all. When we purchase real estate, there are always closing costs, right? So the closing costs are the expenses tied to the process of the sale. So that's going to include your title insurance costs, right? So that's going to be the policy cost. There may be some underwriting costs that's related to that. If you're a buyer, one of the costs you're going to incur is your mortgage costs. So some mortgage companies, you may pay a point or two, maybe you buy down the interest. Some mortgage companies, you're going to come up with your application fee. Typically, you've already paid for the appraisal by now, so you're not going to show up with that as a closing cost, but you are going to have some mortgage related closing costs. Other costs will include the cost to prepare the deed, the cost of recording. And the big one that I think kind of catches most people by surprise is prepaid taxes. So the year you purchase the property, and let's say you close on the property on February 1st of 2023. Well, you are 1 month into 2023. The taxes have been prepaid. And so the seller is going to be on the hook for that first month of taxes, and the buyer is going to have to be on the hook for the next 11 months of taxes. And so on the closing costs, both the seller and the buyer will incur a tax cost, and that is for the property taxes, and that's based on the use so far, like where you are in the year. So that is one that often catches people like off guard. Do anticipate that you will have your prepaid taxes as a closing cost. As a general rule, if you calculate about 2% of the sale price, those will be your closing costs as a buyer. On the seller's end, another closing cost is going to be your realtor, your real estate agent. Typically, as of the making of this video, the average in the market is a 6% fee, 3% going to the seller and 3% going to the buyer's agent. That is going to come out of what goes to the seller. So if the sales price is $100,000, $6,000 in commissions is going to come out of that. Another closing cost for the seller, it's not actually a closing cost, but you will see it as a deduction in your closing sheet, is the mortgage or any liens that are getting paid off. So if we have that $100,000 house, we're going to minus the $6,000 real estate fees. And let's say there is a $4,000 IRS lien. So now that's coming off, and now my seller is getting $90,000. Of course, there are seller's closing costs, which do include deed recording and those sort of things, but they do not usually include fees related to the mortgage. 72 hours before the closing, both the buyer and seller should receive a printout of the closing costs. I don't know what they call it now, but we used to call it a HUD-1. I still call it a HUD-1. When I say the HUD-1, everyone knows what I'm talking about, even though technically it has a different name. So that just shows my age when I'm talking to the title company. Oh, well, here I am. So you will get that, and you're supposed to look over it and make sure everything is appropriate. And for a buyer, that lets you know, here's the amount of money you need to go get a certified check for. There you are. As always, I am asking you to please hit like or subscribe or both, because it feeds the algorithm. And I hope you join us in our next exciting video. Have a wonderful day.